I thought it would be neat, and I actually had somebody request this, to show you guys how to milk a goat. And I'm going to be showing you both how to do it by hand as well as by machine. So, you can hear Daisy's ready to come in here, so let's get started. Girl. First things first, you need your goat, obviously. And she's gonna be much happier on the stand if she has food. First things first is we're gonna need to clean the udder and the teats. Now I just use really hot water, which is why I keep it in a thermal cup here. This is just the Yeti. That helps keep it nice and warm. And I just wipe it out, the udder down really well, just getting any loose dirt or hair off. And then you'll also want to, the first squirt or two from each teat, you want to express not in your bucket, just on the rag is fine, because that's where the highest concentration of bacteria is going to be right in those openings of the teat from laying on the ground, etc. So you want to get that out. Hopefully she doesn't run out of green too quick, because obviously I'm being slower today. Now when you're milking, larger teats are definitely going to be easier to work with. Daisy here has really great large teats that you can fit 4 fingers on easily. So that's something to look for when you're purchasing a goat, an adult goat, or when you're breeding. That's something to breed forward to, because it's really helpful. Now what I'm doing here is you're going to pinch at the top of the teat, and while holding that keeps the milk into the teat itself, and then use the other fingers to squeeze it out. If you don't pinch this and hold this here, when you squeeze, the milk's just going to go right back up into the udder. So it's pinch, squeeze, pinch, squeeze, pinch, squeeze. And there you go. Just continuing on until the udder is empty. There is a different movement than really you use for anything else in life. And it is different than cows. So if you've done cows before, milking goats is different. It takes a different technique. So it does take a little bit of practice just for your muscles in your brain to kind of get used to that movement. But the more you do it, it becomes second nature. You don't even have to think about it. Now another nice thing to look for when in the teats, not just the size of the teat, but also the size of the orifice, which is the hole where the milk actually comes out of. If you're using a machine, it doesn't matter as much, but if you're milking by hand, a wide orifice is so much easier. Last time Daisy here was in milk, and she had kids on her, those kids really helped open those up a lot more, which makes it a lot easier. This time she does not have kids on her because they were stillborn, so they're not as open, which makes it a lot harder on the hands. But I think using a machine lately has helped open them up more, because this was a lot easier to milk out. Right, now, she's not putting any more out now, really, just tiny squirts, but she's not completely empty. So you'll want to punch, just like a kid would, or massage. That'll kind of create a letdown so you can get the rest of it out. I know, you ran out of food. So just get those last few out. You want to make sure it gets completely empty, because that tells the udder that, oh, I need to make more milk, because clearly there wasn't enough if we're completely empty, and that will help keep your supplies up. Kitty Hawk here is a bigger goat, so obviously she has much larger teats, but they are fabulous for milking. And because they're so long, they hold a lot more milk in the teats, so you get larger squirts. Move your legs. And she milks out faster. Usually use a bigger bucket for this. It's spray squirting me, splashing all over me. Now, Kitty Hawk here doesn't like her udder to be massaged, as you saw with the others, but she's good with a good punch to get her let down. And as you can see, she also prefers being milked from the back because she comes from a dairy where usually she is on a machine, which they're doing from the back, and on milk test days, they're on the stand and being milked from the back. So this is what she's used to. That's fine. We are trying to dry her up, but she didn't get the memo. So there you go. Pretty simple. It does take some getting used to on your hands. If you've never done it before, your hands will get tired until they get stronger. But it's a pretty simple method. And if you only have a few goats, super easy way to go. A lot less cleaning involved, doing it by hand. And it really doesn't take that long. So tomorrow I will show you how to do it by machine. Good morning. It is chilly. This weather cannot decide that it's going to be spring yet. But anyways, as promised, I'm going to show you how to milk a goat by machine. Now, obviously, you can get really big machines to service multiple goats at a time, or like really big commercial operations, or you can get smaller machines. The thing most of these all have in common is that they run on electric, which I don't have out here. So what I found was this Vevor milking machine that runs on this battery pack here, which is a lifesaver. And I've been using it for about 2 weeks now, I think, and I am quite impressed with it. It advertises that you can milk up to 6 goats per charge. Now, I know my goats are not full size and they are not in absolute peak production right now, but I have yet to charge this. It has been going for 2 weeks now on a single charge, so that's pretty impressive, and it works really well. So I really appreciate it. I will go ahead and tell you, it has some of these lines are very long, like excessively long, and they get twisted up really bad, and it's just a mess. So we did go ahead and zip tie together the ones that go together, and that has helped tremendously. So if you do get this one, I recommend that. But these inflators work both for my mini Nubian and my Nigerian dwarfs, which is great, and super simple operation. And as you can hear, those goats are ready to get out and be milked. So let's get to it. Now, machine milking is going to start the same way hand milking does. Grain on the stand. Now, the start of machine milking is going to be the same as hand milking. We're going to start by cleaning the udder. We're also going to squirt the first couple on the rag. Sorry about the kids yelling. They want a nurse. We're a little bit late today. And from here, I'm going to turn the machine on. And then these have a little turn knob here. We want them open so it's pulling suction when we put them on. And then when we take it off, we're going to close the suction off so that we can break the seal to get them on. So, here we go. well. I think my battery just died. So anyways, when we're done, we're gonna break the suction so that we can get it off easily. And then, even if it hadn't died, you want to strip out the rest of the milk from the teats by hand when you're finished. Reason for this, the milk machine isn't going to get every last bit out. So if you don't strip it out afterwards, then it's not going to trigger the udder to keep making as much milk. So you want to strip it out to make sure you keep your production up. Most goats, it's not going to be much, just an ounce or so. So there you go. That is how you milk by machine and by hand. All right, guys, now that I've showed you both how to milk by hand and how to milk by machine, I would like to give you my honest review of the milking machine that I have purchased. So this is not a sponsored video. I did not receive any compensation for this. I purchased this myself, so this is a completely honest review. No incentives either way. I'm just going to talk you through all the things that came with it and kind of give you my pros and cons along the way. It is a Vevor, as I said in the video. This is a pulse milker, which means it's not like a continuous suction. It kind of has a pulse suction, which is a more natural kind of rhythm as if you were hand milking. And it also helps prevent blowing out teats that way. So that is a good thing. You definitely want that in your milking machine. This little dial here, you can actually adjust the strength. It came at full strength, and that seems, I just didn't adjust it. That seems to be working just fine. So that's just where I leave it. But there is that adjuster if necessary. Your individual goat may be different. And this particular model, as I said, is their battery powered one, and they have two different sizes. For the tank, this one is almost 2 gallons, which is a little excessive for my current needs, but forward thinking, I figured it's better to be too big than too small. So I did get the larger size, just thinking, you know, next time Kitty Hawk freshens, she is a mini Nubian from high producing lines, so she has the potential of giving half a gallon or more per milking. And then add any other goats that are in milk at the same time on top of that. So I will probably never fill it completely, but as I said, better to have too much than not enough. As I said, it is battery powered, so it comes with this nice little battery pack. As I mentioned in the video, it gets a really impressive charge. I was very happy with the battery life of this thing. That first charge where you saw it dying, I had actually gotten 54 milkings out of it before it died. And as I said, obviously they're not full peak production right now, but that's still really impressive. That video was about 2 weeks ago. I'm on my second charge currently, and it's still going strong 2 weeks later. So really great battery life. I was really impressed by that. I mentioned that the tubes are really all different lengths, which is kind of annoying, honestly. So yeah, this one in particular is super extra. Like, what is this? Why does this need to be so stinking long? So it gets tangled up a lot, which is kind of frustrating. Zip ties did help, but I think I might put a couple more on just to make it a little bit easier. Came with, these are the goat inflators. It also came with a set of cow inflators, which are really nice and heavy duty stainless steel, which is great. Probably would have been too heavy for goat, which is why they used the plastic for them. But I have to question, why would you use this machine for a cow? Cows give a lot more milk than that can hold, for one. For two, cows have 4 teats, not 2, so you can only do half the udder at a time. So I'm not really sure why the cow udder inflators also came with these that, according to the book, are baby comforters. but that's all it says. So I have no idea what these are or what they're for. It did come with a couple of extra hoses, replacement pieces for these smaller, shorter hoses up here. So I guess those are expected to wear down faster. Maybe from taking them off to clean. I'm not really sure. So it's nice to have the extra in case you need them, but there are no extra of the long tubes, which really are the ones that get moved around and jostled the most. It did come with a book, which explains how to put it together. Does not tell you how to use it or how to clean it. So I would definitely call that a negative. I actually had to scour YouTube and find a bunch of random videos of people using other milking machines to figure out how to use this milking machine. So I think you need to work on that a little bit, Vevor, and then also washing it. It would have been nice to have some instruction there. What I'm doing is working, as far as I know. I don't know if it's the best way to do it because no instructions. So that's something that I think the company really needs to remedy, is to include those things in the book. How to use the machine and how to clean the machine, because those are going to be things that you do every time you use the machine. I will say the other kind of negative I have is that this is all stainless, but there is a spot that is starting to rust, and unfortunately it is on the inside of the bucket where the milk goes. So I don't know if that's just a manufacturing flaw. I may contact the company about that to ask. Yeah, that seems like something that should not be happening, especially, I mean, it started rusting 2 weeks into use. So I don't think that's something that they counted on, which is why I wonder if perhaps it's a little bit of a flaw. It's a bit clunky to carry back and forth to the barn, but it's working out. We're kind of getting our routine down. So the real question comes down to, is it worth it to purchase this milk machine versus milking by hand? And I think that depends on your circumstances. For me, having one goat that is being very difficult right now, and just the wear and tear that it's been putting on my hands lately, for me it is absolutely worth it. That being said, it is more work to clean afterwards versus milking by hand, just because there are more parts involved. So you have to take your time into account as well. I have been lately, since Daisy's the only one I'm milking in the evening right now, I have been milking her by hand in the evenings just because that's a lot of extra cleaning for one goat. However, in the mornings when I have 2 or 3 goats to milk, I use the machine. So you kind of have to evaluate your situation and decide what is best for you. So I hope this was really helpful to kind of give you an idea of how this machine works and what we think of it, and also to help you learn how to milk your goat or future goats, both by hand and by machine. Let me know in the comments if you have ever used this machine, or maybe one similar, and let me know what your experience was. I look forward to reading those comments. If this video has been a help, go ahead and give a thumbs up. That really helps with our algorithm, and it's a great way to support our channel at no cost to you. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you then.